And we were so incredibly wrong. It's one of the best, errors I've ever made. And Warren too. We both had no idea what we had done.
Sometimes the song you love the most isn't the one that everyone remembers. Guitarist to the Stars, Waddy Wachtel, told me about one of his most memorable studio experiences, crafting Warren Zevon's Excitable Boy, the platinum-selling iconic record. And he talks about the unexpected journey of Tenderness on the block. Hear why this song became Waddy's favourite and why the album's success even took him by surprise.
The story behind it is we were almost finished with the Excitable Boy record. And there were two songs on it that I didn't care for. And I kept telling Jackson and Warren, Jackson brought me in on that record. That's how I wound up on it. He called me. Matter of fact, I had done an interview in London when I was in London with Linda. And I was free of mouth, so to speak, and saying a bunch of stuff. And when I got home, I got this phone call from Jackson, who I had just met during Warren's first album, And he goes, "Hey, Waddy, it's Jackson." I went, "Hey, man, how you doing?" He goes, "I'm fine." He says, "Listen, I read your interview." I went, "What? You what? Your interview in London, the one you did where you said I didn't know what I was doing and I had my hands too full." And then, yeah. He goes, "Yeah, well, you're right. You're absolutely right. I had my hands way too full, and it was a burden." He says, "That's why I'm calling you. I want you to co-produce the next record with me." I went, "What?" I said, "You don't even know me." He goes, "I know you plenty well now. I know where I stand with you, and I know where I stand with Warren. And he won't listen to me now. He'll barely listen to me, but he'll listen to you for a while." He says, "And that'll change too." And he was right. So when I got there, they had these two songs. These other two songs had been done already. And then we proceeded to do all the rest. Johnny Strikes Up the Band, Excitable Boy. We got to a place, Nighttime was done, Switching Yard was done, Vera Cruz. But these two songs were still on the record. And I just said, those songs don't make it. They're just not up to par for the rest of this material. So, and they had a playback party one night. And I'm going, "What do you mean a playback party? We're not even done." She says, "Yeah, it's done." I went, "No, it's not. It's done." So they had a playback party. Side one went down exactly as side one is sequenced. Side two came on. By the time side two was over, half the people left. And I went, "Okay, boys, like I said, those two songs got to go." Those songs drove these people out of here. I'm telling you, that's not happening. They got to go. I said, "Warren, I need two more songs from you. Okay? I'm going on the road with Linda for about 2 weeks. You got to have two more songs when I get back." "Okay, sure." I get back. I call him. I said, "How are you doing?" He was, "I got him." I said, "You got him? What?" He says, "Come on over." So I went over. He'd written Lawyers, Guns, and Money. Played that for me. Oh, man, this is great. And then he played Tenderness on the block, and I melted. It's just such a gorgeous song. And when we went in the studio, it was because I'd been on the road with Rick Marotta and Kenny Edwards. We were so tight rhythm section wise and communication wise. That's who we went in with. And in one day, we cut Lawyers and Tenderness in one session, both of like that. And then I got to do a lot of guitar. The thing about the Excitable Boy record was it was the first time I was able to experiment with things guitar-wise. I was given the opportunity to have the time to try stuff. Not that I had that much in mind, but whenever I wanted to try, I could. So I was really proud of the guitars on that album, but especially on Tenderness, there's a lot of counterpoint stuff going on it that I was really happy about. There's real pretty arpeggio stuff going on, and then there's the nasty sound coming in and the slide that's on it. And the song itself, again, Warren's vocal, and then all of our backgrounds, JD and Jackson, Jorge Calderon, and myself. And it's just a gorgeous song, a beautiful record.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, when the record company picked Werewolves, Warren and I both went, Werewolves? That's the one you want to go with? After all these other, we're thinking Tenderness on the Block is like the most gorgeous thing we've ever heard. It's going to be, it'll catch everyone's ear. Werewolves was the right choice, obviously, incredibly right. And we were so incredibly wrong. It's one of the best, errors I've ever made. And Warren too. We both had no idea what we had done. We thought we had this funny novelty tune, and it became this classic standard. But Tenderness was always very special to me.
Yeah. And the album must be special to you as well, as you said there, with you having so much input on it. You're not just a hired gun or a session musician. The fact that you had decisions to make and you had your way over certain things must make the success of that record feel very sweet as well.
Very, very much so. I got to, Warren and I, we'd spent time together with the Everly Brothers. So I knew a few of the songs by the time we got to the studio. And I have a sense of, what bands should do sometimes. So I can take that role on I get to lead a band and arrange those songs. And I could hear them very clearly in my head, how they should go. And so, yeah, it was great to have the opportunity to produce. It was an amazing reality.